Hello, hello. Welcome
Hello.
to Starting 11, episode 2. How are you doing tonight, Snark?
I'm doing it pretty good. So I listened to the theme song again here. Actually, I kind of do like the new. I like this song a little better. I think it
I like it
fits.
too.
I think
Yeah,
it fits just
yeah.
fine. All right, week one in the books already. The Premier League off to a rousing start. There was a couple surprising matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it went. Um, the way the run of play should really go, except I don't know. To see Manchester United struggle, uh, it
That
really
was it
does
was nice.
it puts a warm fuzzy feeling in my heart.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun watching that game, I must admit.
Now, yeah, well, a terrible first half.
Yeah.
They look better when Ronaldo came on, which is not comforting. They just dug themselves too big a hole,
Yeah.
which is which is good news. Uh, let's go on to let's start the week. The week starts on a Friday game,
Friday
Friday night
game.
for them. Yeah, Arsenal playing. What did you think of your boys?
Well, I had a couple of days of really good Arsenal days on Thursday and Friday because Thursday was the premiere of All or Nothing Arsenal on
Oh
Amazon
yeah.
Prime.
hmm
And I've really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of that. And
I really
maybe we'll
enjoyed the
do.
episode where they showed Chelsea beat them.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
did.
loved it. That was
I'm
my
sure you
favorite.
did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't need to watch
I I
another episode of the
watched
show.
I watched the 3 episodes with Ferris, and I was like, Ferris, some of this is gonna be very painful for me. And he was like, it probably is. Yeah.
Such an
Um,
awful start. Imagine if you guys had a better start to the year. Oh well, what
which
happens?
we did. We did have a better start to the year this time.
Oh yeah,
We went to Crystal Palace on Friday, and we beat them 2-0. The scoreline was maybe a little flattering in the end. I thought.
yeah.
Uh, Palace
And
actually had more possession in that game than we did, which I wasn't expecting. But
I thought you guys at times looked sloppy with the ball.
yeah,
But what are you gonna do when you guys are on attack and stuff like that? Oh boy. I thought you guys showed well. I thought your goalkeeper was excellent. I
yeah,
thought he did
Ramsdale
a
was
great.
very good.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he had a great game. Uh, Defensively a little lax. Well, you don't want to go after a team defense that just put up a clean sheet. But yeah, there's yeah. I think that's the coach's dream when you can win a game 2-0 or sorry 2-0, and you still have teachable moments. Those are the kind of
Yeah,
days that coaches dream about. So uh, it was a good start to the year. It was a fun match to watch. It's always nice to have a couple of goals, and there was tries like uh, Arsenal, played okay, but like Crystal Palace, considering losing so many players this offseason, including when just days before this match, which we'll talk about in a bit, um, I thought they looked okay. Uh, they don't seem to be very fast,
no,
which is going to be a problem in this league. I think they're like, and defensively, you could tell inside the box or whatever, not not too great. I think they had problems with their markings and stuff like that. But other than that, uh, let's move on to the Saturday games. And the first game of the day, an absolute shocker. A
yeah,
shocker. How does Liverpool have to scramble to get a draw with Fulham? And it makes my
that
skin
was
crawl.
it was crazy watching that. Uh,
And yeah,
Fulham were very composed, I thought, and they defended very well. I kind of actually felt bad for them in the end that they didn't end up winning that game because
well, you can
they
take them.
played really, really well.
I think everyone needs to buy Mo Salah dinner.
Yeah,
Uh, because yeah, he really did rescue them from the death. They did have some. They did have like after that, after the goal or whatever. They seemed to have the run of play or whatever for the rest of the game. But how about the debut from Mitrovic there, getting 2 goals and like within the first 30 minutes of the game, like yeah, they were on top of things. I think they came out knowing that they had to show well and did, and it's just like Liverpool thought they were gonna have the day off, which I thought
Yeah.
they would have had the day off too. Like I had by no means did I think that Fulham had any right to win that game until they started playing. That's why you play the games, Adelia.
I know.
Oh, what? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you said playing the games is an option, is optional.
No. No.
That's
No. No.
ooh, that's not the truth. Okay, now about most help. You know what keeps me awake some nights?
What?
The fact that Chelsea has needed a true striker for so long. Uh, we had Mo Salah and Mourinho let him walk. Let
Yeah.
him walk. And what have we been chasing for the last 5 years? Someone who can do just what Mo Salah does. Uh, yeah, unbelievable. So, he just tied a record for having a goal in the debut game of the year for the 6th season in a row, I believe. I think he has 8 goals in that time.
The kid's
Unbelievable.
nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfair. It's unfair to me. Uh, but good for him. And uh, I think it changed. I don't know if that's going to change how they run things in Liverpool for the rest of the year. I can honestly think that if this is a wake up call and that gets them angry and stuff like that, that people should be very afraid because they did like it comes down to it. They did end up getting a point out of it, although they did drop 2 extra points. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be hard to play against Liverpool next week. Who do they have next week? That I know it's not us. I know it's not
Crystal
us.
Palace.
So there you go. Well, they're gonna get some chances, but they shouldn't have. They should. This thing shouldn't have been close. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Next, one of the matches I enjoyed watching most this week: Leeds and Wolves. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, two teams that aren't going to be in the thick of it or shouldn't. Uh, and it doesn't literally make my skin crawl to see Leeds take a victory on opening day. But it was deserved. It was a good back and forth game. It's fun. 2-1 games are fun to watch. Wolves scoring first and stuff like that. You figure, okay, this should be it. But they showed some fight, so good for them. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about, you know, Leeds United, the
Yeah.
damned United, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Uh, our match of the week comes next. We wanted to watch uh, Newcastle take on Forest. Forest first time in the Premiership in almost 25 years. And holy cow, did it look like it. My God, these guys were
Yeah.
not prepared for this.
They were
They
outclassed through
It
that
was
whole game.
stunning. It was stunning. Newcastle, guys, not great. They should not do well this year. But they looked like honestly, it looked like they were second. Like Nottingham Forest is still a second division team. And I have high hopes for them. I hope they can get it and stuff like that. It'd be a shame that they have to wait for so long and get one and done. But I don't see any positives. Like I think Newcastle had the ball 65% of the time. Uh, Nottingham didn't get a single shot on net, not one.
There were
You
moments
could have
watching
put a
that game where
you
I
could have put a
started to
picnic
question.
table, put a picnic
Yeah.
table in net.
There
That would
were
have done as good a job.
there were moments watching that game where I was questioning whether Newcastle were even playing a goalkeeper because you
Yep,
didn't
no
see
need,
him.
no need.
There's just
Stunning, stunning.
yeah.
These guys are not fast enough, or their manager is not putting them in any kind of position to win. It was literally terrible to watch. The fact that it was only what was it 2-0 for Newcastle is flattering to Forest because they should have been pumped for more. It was getting uncomfortable to watch after a while. I was like, "Don't, this is the game I'm going to watch." It was the game I watched. I watched live on Saturday while working on my phone. So whatever. I still see it. I wore my glasses, so it looks bigger. Um, yeah. Okay. Forest is going to win this year. I just don't know when it's going to be or who it's going to be
Yeah.
against, because this was uninspiring. It's like, and especially the way they closed out the year to get promoted, uninspired. There was nothing
Yeah.
here. Well, and
I thought the two Newcastle goals were really good goals though.
mhm, yep, yeah, but it's it's just they're like no one's marking in the box against them.
Yeah. No.
Uh, they just they could do what they wanted. It was not it was uncool. Speaking of uncool, uh, there's another Northern London club
Yeah.
that I wholeheartedly dislike.
Me
I
too.
feel uncomfortable saying their name, uh, but they came out and did what they had to do. And that's whip the living shit out of Southampton.
Yeah.
4-1 wasn't that close. It wasn't even that close. That
No.
Southampton got a goal is kind of
I'll take your
impressive.
word for it because I didn't even bother watching.
No need. No, they took control. Uh, Good news is Chelsea gets to play them next week. So great. We'll see. We'll see. It's at the bridge. But yeah, it was an easy win for Tottenham. Chelsea comes in, goes to the Mercy side, take on good old Frankie Lamps, and did their business. They win 1-0. Again, this was not an inspiring effort by Chelsea, but it's a place that Chelsea just doesn't win for some reason. We just don't seem to beat Everton and Everton. I have no idea why. Uh, but they got the job done. Some of the moves, they introduced two new players. They got Koulibaly on the pitch to start. I really like him. He looks way bigger than I thought too. He looks like a big man. And then off the bench, we got our latest signing, Cucurella, who we got from Palace. Uh, Comes in and he has the old geezer hair and stuff like that, as David Luiz's hair. Uh, Very active. I think he's very physical. Um, Gets a yellow card in injury time, and there was a lot of it. There was a bad injury in the first half. There was a medical emergency they had to stop the play for in the second half. Like an extra 11 minutes played in a game on the first day of the year is not common, but
Yeah. I
Chelsea
didn't
kept it
I
easy.
didn't know about the injury, and I saw the time of the goal in the first half stoppage time, and I was like, that's a lot of stoppage time. I wonder what
There's a lot of
happened.
stuff. There's a lot of stoppage time. I can't remember who it was now for Everton, but he came in on a tackle and I believe he got the ball, but he spiked himself. He got his spikes down in the grass, and I haven't heard back from I haven't seen the medical report yet or whatever, but I'm sure it's either if it's not a fractured ankle, it's a high ankle sprain. Stuff like that. It didn't look good. Uh, so that was it for the Saturday games. Sorry. Bournemouth beating
Bournemouth.
Aston Villa. Good for
Yeah.
them. Good for
Yeah.
them. Aston Villa is disgusting, guys. It's gross. Declare it. Come on, guys. What are you doing? It's good to see
I
him lose.
I thought that Aston Villa just looked like they were never going to score in that game at
They
all.
have they look hopeless, and I
Yeah.
truly enjoy it. And yeah, to and it's also it helps sour Steven Gerrard as a manager. I'll take that too. I honestly will.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bournemouth. Bournemouth. Yeah, again, not a team that you're going to look to challenge for anything this year, except for in a weird FA Cup way, maybe. Um, but uh, Villa, anytime they're in that bottom part of the table, it makes my heart sing. So as long as they keep falling down, maybe some teams can surprise, and we'll see what happens. I'm saying this right now is like Villa isn't a lock. If they keep playing the way they played on Saturday, they are
Yeah.
not a lock to stay up, which is awesome news for me. Um, Sunday, Sunday. Let's start. Again, an an entertaining game was the Foxes and Brentford.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a 2-all draw, but lots of goals, ball being moved around pretty well. It didn't look too sloppy. It was just an entertaining game, as entertaining a game as a draw can get, and everyone pushing for a goal at the end was good. Also, the only time anybody picked a draw to win this game right here by me. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, the two of you. And then again, the Brighton beating Manchester United.
They were saying on the NBC broadcast, Peacock broadcast, that
Mhm.
Brighton had never won a game in the city of Manchester before. They'd never beat City. They'd never beat United.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Yeah, nice to see. It is nice to see. I remember uh, reading some news about it, and the guy saying like if Ten Hag wasn't already bald, he would have pulled out all his hair. It's like
Yeah.
yes, that's the stuff I enjoy to watch them frustrated. I enjoy that so much. And then of course the champs come in and whip the shit out of West Ham. It's only two
Good
nil, but
Lord.
yeah,
Erling
it was.
Haaland.
It's one of the notes I had written down is just like, oh boy, I think I had picked him to go fourth or whatever in our season preview. Jesus Christ, this might be a legit 45 goal man, 45 to 50 this year. Oh my goodness gracious,
Yeah.
um, yeah, look good.
I did you see his post-match interview with the British
No, I
TV?
I
They
didn't.
showed it live on the Peacock broadcast, and they
Mhm.
asked him about not making a run to get what would have been a tap in for his hat trick. And he goes, "Yeah, it was a bit shit, wasn't it?" He just the guy's like, "Oh, watch the language." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, shit." It was very amusing
It's
to me.
not the worst thing ever said on English
It's not the
television. I
worst
can tell
thing
you
ever said on TV, but it was very amusing to me. Um, the, the city looked great. West
Yeah,
Ham. I don't think West Ham looked all that bad for West Ham,
yeah,
but
for West Ham, they look like a bunch of jokers. If you know
yeah.
what I mean.
I mean,
Yeah,
that game could have had a lot more goals in it for City, but it didn't.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, Adelia. West
Yeah,
Ham, not my favorites.
I'm aware.
Oh, okay, very good. So yeah, so that was the week. So we did our thing where we're picking. And if you'd like to know the final score for the week is 7-3 for the good guys. The good guys get
Yeah.
this week. First week to Rob. The draw really helped.
Hmm.
Uh, we had a run of not like the first games on Saturday of not doing good. We did
Yeah.
not we did not pick the early games on Saturday, but I had a heck of a run starting with the obviously the Spurs one, which everyone was going to get right, but I got the Chelsea game. I picked that draw against with Brentford and Leicester. Uh, we got Brighton to beat Manchester United. I'm very happy about that, and of course the City win as well. Uh, all right, so a couple of notes. Yeah, so Chelsea again, some signings, and it looks like they may not be done. Looks like we're going to be losing a couple of players. We're going to be losing Marcus Alonso. It looks like again to Barcelona, guys. Barcelona, who can't pay anybody.
$1 billion in debt,
They
Barcelona.
can't. They're asking people to defer their salaries. They're
That's one
asking
of the
people to do this.
that's one of the problems with the Frankie De Jong leaving Barcelona is they owe him so much money,
Just
and
yeah,
he
well
wants
then
it.
yeah, no shit. Uh, Again, another guy that's linked to Chelsea. Well, all these guys are. At least Barcelona can't come in and swoop this one because they honestly already own the guy. But well, sort of.
Yeah.
If they can get to play, they may not. There's gonna yeah. There's no guarantee these guys can actually play this year because
Yeah.
they have to figure out their finances. They're spending like crazy. They're giving away future earnings and they're only halfway. I have no idea how they're doing this. I have no idea
I
why
don't.
they'd be allowed to do this. It's almost like soccer is a corrupt sport.
Yeah,
Almost.
I go back to that article that's on the ESPN website explaining what Barcelona is doing to try to meet the La Liga financial rules and all of that, and it's just like this makes no sense whatsoever.
No
It's
sense.
not sustainable in any capacity. They're going to like I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not good what they're
You know
doing
what
over
would be
there.
funny? If they sell the Camp Nou to Real Madrid.
Real Madrid's not much better off than
I just think that'd be
Barcelona.
super funny. No, that would make my heart smile. Uh, okay.
Arsenal, we've had a bunch of youngsters loaned out at Arsenal.
Hmm.
We sold Bernd Leno to Fulham, and Lucas Torreira, who I'd honestly forgotten was still an Arsenal player, now belongs to Galatasaray. That's the Arsenal transfer news of the week.
Have fun in Turkey. Uh, yeah, like so. Yeah, I just mentioned Kusarella or whatever, grabbing him from Palace. I'm
I thought it was
interested.
Brighton.
Oh, sorry, Brighton. Um, I'm interested to see how his career goes, considering he's going to have to spend time with Ben Chilwell. Um, so unless they go to a four-man back, because he can play probably at the left back, left center back, uh,
Yeah,
possibly. But it would change how we run our attack and stuff too if we have to go to four in the back because we're running the 3-4-3. Sterling looks fast, and it's been a while since you've had to see two or three defenders mark up against one of our strikers. So his room, he is opening up room for Mount Kai Havertz. Won't be opening up room for Timo Werner, uh, Afida Zane, Timo. He's going back to Leipzig. That should be done today. It might be finished by tomorrow. Which is unfortunate. Guy I've got to see play, and I enjoyed him on the team. He always seemed to be happy. Like he just didn't get the feature in too many matches. Just too many other guys that you can put in there. So what are you gonna do? As Pilaqueta decides to stick around, well, he was already under contract for next season, but he signed the contract for another additional year. So got our captain through 23, 24, I believe now. So, or 24, 25, something like that. We got him for a little while. Uh, One thing I wanted to say is Casper Schmeichel uh, going to France. And if you don't know Casper Schmeichel, he's been the goaltender at Leicester for, I think he had 500 appearances for them.
yeah.
Uh,
I think they said on the broadcast I watched 11 years he was there.
yeah, long time. He was their captain. He was like,
Yeah,
this is a team that has Vardy on it, and like Jamie Vardy and stuff like that. And still, goaltender is the captain. That I believe that leaves one now and stuff like that. One goaltender as captain of a team in the Premier League. Uh,
yeah.
but
That's
good for him. He
Hugo
made his
Lloris at
money.
Tottenham, right?
Yes. He made his money. He gets to go to the south of France,
Yeah.
retire, and never have to set foot in Leicester ever again, which is a good thing for him. Uh, any moments from the matches this week that you wanted to talk about? Anything that we haven't touched on?
I don't think so. I'm trying to. I don't have anything in my notes
Ooh, I
that
got
we haven't
something.
already touched on.
I got one thing we haven't touched on. Not
What?
necessarily to do with any stats or anything like that. Somebody wore a pink kit this week out
Yeah.
on the pitch. Okay, uh, what did you think of the Arsenal third jersey? I hadn't seen them. I hadn't seen them leading into
I
it.
had seen them, and
Yeah.
I understand why we were wearing them because the red is too close to the Crystal Palace red, and the
Hmm.
away jersey is black, which is too close to the blue. So I understand why we were in the third kit. I don't know how I feel about the third kit.
You know what I honestly thought when
What?
I first saw this? Like again, I was just watching it on my phone.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I was just seeing it wrong or whatever. It's like, no, no, no. They started talking about the pink kit. I thought it looked fine. But I also thought
Yeah.
that they could honestly say that somebody just had a laundry mishap.
Yeah. It's
And
a
those are
very
actually
light
those
pink.
are the home jerseys. It's just that they were washed them in hot water.
Yeah.
You
It's a
washed them in
very
hot
light
water
pink.
and they all ran.
Yeah. If we have had worse kits by far,
Oh
but
yes,
I
yes
don't
we have.
know. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Of course, I'm talking as a Chelsea fan who famously have some of the worst kits in soccer history. But the best color, the royal blues, best color there is. But yeah, a whole bunch of them, not great. Especially the
Yeah.
third ones. They make some terrible
Yeah.
third
The
jerseys.
third ones are weird.
Agreed. Now, let's look ahead. We're going to go take a look at week number 2 here. Time to do some pick'ems.
Okay.
We're gonna, you know what? We're not going to be counting the scores going forward. We're only going to count during the week. So Rob has 1 week, 1 point. Now,
Okay.
uh, we're going to start no Friday games, which is correct. There
Fine.
shouldn't be a Friday game. No Friday game. There is a Monday game. No Friday game. We're going
Yeah.
to start with Villa versus Everton. And this is a big match for managerial careers in this league,
Yeah.
I think. I think this is a game that Frankie has to win. Has to win it. And if Steven Gerrard doesn't win it, I think it's going to set Villa on a very unfortunate path for them that they will not recover from ever. They'll have to fold the team, and all the kids that ever bought an Aston Villa jersey are going to go home and cry themselves to sleep. All
I don't think so, but okay.
right. But as it is, who do you see winning this game?
I actually see Villa winning this game. I know they look like they couldn't score at all in the game this last week, but Everton is just so all over the place, and I don't think they. I think they still don't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so I've got Villa on this one.
I don't see any attacking options for Everton to push
Yeah,
anybody right now. So I am in agreement with you. Unfortunately, goddamn, and Frankie really needed a good start. So, but it's why they play the games, Adelia. Unlike what you always say. But we'll see. Uh, yeah, I just don't see Villa losing this one. Next, oh, we have in their home debut
yep,
Arsenal versus Leicester.
yeah.
Who do you think is going to win this game?
I'm going with Arsenal, of
How
course.
dare you?
Shocking, I know.
Yeah, this
I
is a surprise.
no, I think the boys will be up for the home opener. We play pretty well against Leicester generally. I feel
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
so. I got the guys.
Yeah, Leicester put in a couple of goals and stuff, but they also conceded a couple of goals. Uh, I may not have liked the way Arsenal's defense looked, but it's also the first week is basically a glorified exhibition week. Anything could
Yeah,
still happen. Nobody, it's the first time running your guys, and they're going full out and stuff like that. So
yeah, and
you don't do anything else.
we had Ben White at right back instead of
Yeah,
Tamiyasu, who played with the under 21s this weekend. So hopefully that means he'll be ready for this week.
right.
If not, I still think Ben White in that makeshift right back role can get enough of a job done to help see the boys through.
I'm still sticking with Gabby Jesus to win the Golden Boot this year. I think he's going to have a breakout game. So yeah, it's an easy pick for me. Arsenal wins. The next game, this next game's kind of interesting. Brighton and Newcastle.
Yeah.
In Brighton coming off of maybe not a shocker, maybe not a shocker,
But a
maybe
big
just
win nonetheless.
it's a big win. It's a
Yeah.
big win. Uh, Newcastle with a win, but Yeah, to compare the two, it's apples and oranges. Like at least Man United tried in the second half. They
Yeah.
tried to get back into it. Uh, just had nothing for Forest. There was nothing for Forest. So it's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to say because it's in Brighton, I'm gonna. Oh, do I want to draw here? I might. Ooh.
I have written down draw.
Oh, okay. You take the draw. Oh, do I want to say Brighton because it's at home? Brighton at home. Hmm. I'm going to say Brighton at home. I'm going to say Brighton for the win.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you want to do a draw on the next one? Man City versus Bournemouth.
No. This is cities.
Yes.
It's at the Etihad, I believe.
Yeah.
There's no way City loses to Bournemouth. There's no
No.
way. I don't think there's any way City draws with Bournemouth. So
City isn't going to win every game at home. They're
no.
sure as hell going to win this one, though.
Yes.
And probably not close. Like I could see them getting 3 or 4 past these guys. So, yeah, this is an easy lock. Is it a lock of the week? Possibly. Manchester wins. Now, Southampton at home against the damned Leeds United. Uh, this is a tough pick. This is why I don't bet on soccer. Oh, who do I think? You know what? This is a week. I think this is a good match to pick a draw in. So I'm going to just take a draw.
I have Leeds in this one. I was not impressed with
Okay, at home.
Southampton
All
at
right.
all
Yeah.
in that Tottenham game.
Yep. Yeah, Tottenham looks sharp, so sharp. But yes, nope. I'm gonna go draw. I'm gonna hope that that game against the Wolves was an outlier for them. I hope so. Speaking of Wolves, they're at home against Fulham. I do not expect Fulham to put up as much of a fight this week. I think Fulham should come down to earth, and Wolverhampton should be able to win at home.
I agree.
W, 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 W. Now, to close out the late game on Saturday, this is who they choose because I have no idea. Brentford at home against Manchester United. Does anybody trust Manchester United?
No, I don't. I certainly don't. Um,
Yeah, why would you? Why would you? Yeah, De Gea looks awful. He looks awful. He looks so like it's David De Gea. How how nervous are you with the ball? And you're the keeper. This isn't your first season. You've been around years. Years. Look terrible. Back end looks
yeah.
terrible. Ronaldo should be able to play, so they'll get Brentford running. But
The
Brentford put together a couple of good goals against Leicester. So,
yeah.
uh,
The
yeah,
memes that I have seen on Twitter of Lisandro Martinez after his performance against Brighton have amused me greatly over the last couple of days.
good.
Um,
You're
I
picking
th-
Brentford.
I'm going Brentford.
Nice. Brentford at home. I'm gonna join you. We'll either share in the glory or wallow in the same misery. Now, Sunday, we have in the undercard, Nottingham Forest against the Hammers. Uh,
I
yeah,
gotta go West Ham.
it's West Ham. Uh,
I,
As much as
there's no way you
pains me
trust
to my
Nottingham after
soul,
that performance.
pains me to the soul to say this, but they should have an easy time of this. Guys, you
Yeah,
can be able to sit your. Why even start? Why even start your starting 11? Sit them. Put in a practice team. They're they're honestly better because yeah, from what you saw last week, you saw a Nottingham Forest team that
yeah.
can't
This
can't
is
compete. They can't compete with anybody else.
This is in Nottingham, so I think that the crowd will help lift them up a little, but I don't know if they can
What's the name of
can
that
get
place?
past West Ham.
St. James Park, I think.
St. James Park is Newcastle's
Yeah,
ground. I don't
which
know
is
what the name of
you know what?
Nottingham's.
I can find out because I am super. What do you call it? Smart. Uh, 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 it is. Uh, oh, that's what I was thinking of. Not St. James, the City Ground. The
The City
City
Ground.
Ground. The City Ground. Another stadium in England that hasn't taken money from a company yet.
That was the one thing I did notice about Nottingham Forest in that game against Newcastle. They didn't have a shirt sponsor.
No. Yeah, I don't know if it's just them not getting their shit together, and
Yeah, I
but
don't.
we'll see.
I found that very strange for especially for a Premier League team not to have a shirt sponsor.
I remember when Chelsea went to the three. Me not being from England, didn't know it was a mobile phone. So the first time I saw this is the new kit and it has a three on there, I was like, oh, they're putting the numbers in the front. And then I noticed everyone had three, and I was like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a
When
name
I
of a
first started
mobile company.
following
Great.
Arsenal, their shirt sponsor was O2, and I was like, "What is
Hmm.
O2?" I'm so confused.
Yeah, but now we get it. And speaking
Yep.
of getting it, this is the most difficult match of the week for me. Uh, Chelsea and Tottenham. This is going to be the best match of the week, I would hope.
Yeah, I think so.
Chelsea is their home debut for the year at the Bridge, a place that used to be an absolute fortress and no one ever won for years. Years. That has slowly dissipated. Um, they had a okay year last year. They're coming up against a Tottenham team uh, who, being soulless, ungodly bastards that they are, have played well against Chelsea over the last couple of years. Um, I'm gonna. I I don't want to look like a jerk, so I'm gonna still take Chelsea to win. Um, but if it goes the other way, like just from the run of play from last week, I could honestly see the Spurs winning. But I want to be able to sleep at night. I'd rather sleep. I'd rather pick a loss. I'd rather
Yeah.
pick a loss than win and saying, "Oh, the Spurs are going to win," in at the Bridge, and make my soul hurt. So I'm going to go with
I
Chelsea.
understand that. I
Uh,
understand that. I'm picking Chelsea as well because I simply cannot
ooh,
pick Tottenham.
right. I understand
I
100%.
just
I
can't.
was thinking maybe you would go with draw. I was thinking
No,
maybe you'd go for the draw. Nope.
no. I
Let's
think
go
Chelsea. I
Chelsea.
think Chelsea will do it.
Let's get 9 goals. I hope so.
Sterling looked pretty good. I know he didn't score in that game against Everton, but he looked pretty good. So I
No,
think
but yeah, like I said, he just so fast and and everyone coming in and picking up, like just marking him, like taking 3, 4 guys on runs and stuff like that. It's opening up space. Hopefully they see this stuff. We've got midfielders coming up, the yin yang that can get the ball. We got one of the best in the world in N'Golo Conte. He's just got to play. Um, so yes, hopefully they'll be able to get something. It really does
yeah.
remind me of with having Sterling up there, like when we had Eden Hazard and the kind of things he would do just from his speed. Uh, so cross your fingers. We'll see how it goes. Home debut. He wants him. You know what? Maybe this is his thing or whatever. It's like he already hates Tottenham like everybody else, I'm sure. So yes, we'll see. And then the Monday game, Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Um, Liverpool back home, tail
Liverpool.
between their legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't be proud of that performance at all. Going into Anfield and going to want to beat the shit out of Palace, I would imagine. But can
Yep.
they do it? Because
Yes.
are they gonna be prepared to come play? You think they are?
I think they will. I
Of
mean,
course they are.
Palace. Palace. I don't think Palace was terrible in that game against Arsenal,
Yeah.
but I don't think they looked all that threatening at times either. Even though they had a lot of possession, so I think that Liverpool has um, probably been read the riot act several times this week by Jurgen
Yeah,
Klopp,
it was not
and
a good week for them. I am
no,
certain of
no.
it. Yeah.
And I think they'll show up. They'll be there in front of the cop, people singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." I think they'll show up and win.
So one of my favorite bands of all time is Pink Floyd. Uh, and they have a song on Metal called "Fearless." And at the end of Fearless, you hear the crowd singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." I refuse to listen to the end of that song. I always fast forward. Thank God for CDs. I can just fucking get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all picked up a lot. Well, you know what? We are picking. Looks like we are of two minds for most of the week, but there's a couple. There's a couple of differences here. There's ways. There's ways of picking up a win. Again, there's ways of me dropping the week, which I am not excited about. Uh, but I get to carry the first week with me, anyways. What match would you like to go under the microscope with next week?
Um, I'm kind of really interested in that Brighton Newcastle match, but we just watched Newcastle.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, but we just saw Newcastle. Uh, yeah, Southampton Leeds. Do we want to see that? Wolves and
Nah.
Fulham. No. What do we
What about
have?
Brentford Man United?
And it's the late game on Saturday. I think that's the one. Okay, and then it would be so nice. It would be so nice if they just whip the shit out of them. Oh, that'd be so nice. What a week.
Let,
All
let,
right, so
let's see if Ten Hag starts Ronaldo. Let's see if he gets them
you'd think
to look
you'd almost have
coherent.
to. You'd almost have to. He was, or is Ronaldo a second half player now? He's 37 years old. Do
Yeah.
you, pl- unless you need a hell of a start? Uh, I I thought he looked good off the bench. I just
They
don't.
they looked better when he came on.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah. Is he a 90-minute guy still at 37 years old? We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure they're starting him. I'm
Yeah.
sure that I'm sure he was told. I'm sure they came and knocked on his door and said, "You're playing that frigging guy. We're paying him enough money, get the first half off." But
Yeah.
yeah, if they don't play him until the second half, it's like, Ten Hag trying to assert some authority for whatever reason.
If they
Uh,
lose this game, does Ronaldo find a way to force them to get rid of him?
nope.
Yeah.
No, he would have been gone this summer. Um, and it's getting later. There's only 3 weeks left, 2.5 weeks left,
Yeah.
and in transfer season, there's no way. Maybe come January, when the second window opens up, would he would he be able to get a move? It depends on how he plays. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So it really does. It limits where he can go. He can go
Yeah.
to the big ones. He all summer he's linked with Chelsea. He's linked with Paris Saint Germain for some reason. It's like
Well, they collect players like
yeah.
Ronaldo,
How many
so
37-year-old multi millionaires do you need? God, yeah, with Messi being there and stuff like that, playing out the
the
last dregs.
obscene money they're paying Kylian Mbappe.
Incredible. At least he scores. He does
Yes.
score. There's no
Yes.
problem with that. Neymar, like, oh my God, so many. Uh, and who are they playing? Like all these players, like there's nobody else. Lyon, you are PSG too worried about Lyon? Probably not.
Marseille. Probably not.
Marseille, Marseille. All right. Well, God damn it, we're not talking about the French league. We're talking about the English Premier League. And as it is, yeah, it's hard. I can't see a world. I can't see a world where Ronaldo does Ronaldo retire. That might be a thing. Does he force? I keep thinking he's going to try and force his way into America. Why
I'm
not make a
actually really
huge?
surprised he's not trying to,
Yeah,
but they won't pay him enough. So
they paid Beck. They found the money for Beckham. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They'll find the money for this guy. And it's also, what does he want to do? Does he want to be like a feel like a movie
it
star? Like,
amuses me though to see these big players come over to the MLS. Like I was seeing highlights on Twitter this weekend of Giorgio Chiellini. I think he plays for LAFC now.
hmm
The ball was coming in, and he just reached up and batted it down. Like, what are you
they don't
doing?
care. They
I
don't
know.
care.
I
It's a
know.
weird league. A lot of actual MLS kids coming into the Premier League now and stuff too. So watch for that.
Yeah.
Chelsea just signed the Chicago Fire's goalie. So
Yeah.
and but are
We
gonna
signed
gonna
the Revolution's goalkeeper,
yeah,
Matt Turner.
they're gonna keep him in Chicago for a couple years because we
Yeah.
have paying out the nose for two goaltenders as it is, and
Yeah.
the most expensive goaltender in the world is our backup. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. We signed
I mean,
Matt Turner
that's
from the New England Revolution and sold Bernd Leno to Fulham. So he's our backup.
yeah. Well, if that's what they want this league to be, if that's what they want Major League Soccer to be, good for them. That's what it should be. It should be like the minor leagues or whatever, and get players ready. That's what
Yeah.
it should be for. It's instead of just getting the dinosaurs in and then like having them do a victory lap and get paid in American money.
Yeah.
Getting paid in euros is fine, guys. Euros worth quite a bit. Or it used to be. I don't know if it is anymore. It used to be
I don't
worth
know.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were doing fine. But yeah, if you want to sell some shirts and stuff like that, that's why you get these guys. Ronaldo would sell a lot of shirts, especially
Yeah,
you
he
put it
would.
in a big market. And
I
if
just don't know, like from like thinking about the MLS and where I know like certain teams and players are at the moment. I just don't know where Ronaldo would go.
when when does Miami start up?
It's started, I believe.
Did it just start? Who owns Miami?
Beckham.
That's where I go. Yeah, you'd be a Miami guy.
Probably.
Yeah, you wouldn't go to Galaxy. Um, I think everybody now is jumped on the LAFC train for whatever reason. I like their uniforms; they look fine. But I would see 100% he'd go to Miami, spend a year or two in Miami Beach with all the other retirees. Uh, you'd be fine, and he'd make an incredible amount of money, and they would sell an incredible amount of shirts, and they do promotions with Beckham and Ronaldo, and they get people in the stands for a couple
Yeah.
years, watch them
I
shuffle
think
around.
though, I think the problem is that Miami already has two designated players, which is what Ronaldo
They'd
would
sell
have
one,
to be.
sell one. They'd sell one immediately. It
Let's
wouldn't be a
see
problem.
here. One of them is Gonzalo Higuain, so he's not going
hmm
anywhere. The
hmm
other one is Alejandro Pozuelo, who I've never
Yep,
heard of.
sold.
He'd be gone.
100%. It wouldn't matter who you have. You especially with MLS, and you got to make your money somehow.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is going to be from your merchandising and stuff like that. Like you were talking about, maybe picking up a Colorado Rapids jersey and stuff like that. It's like, oh, you have an extra $15. Like I honestly don't know how much an MLS jersey costs. I
About
have,
the same.
you know.
About the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! $80.
Um,
$80.
Phil Neville is the
Why don't?
coach of Inter Miami, which I
Yeah,
did not realize.
makes makes sense. Makes sense. Uh, but that's the story for MLS talk, which is not on this network, guys. It isn't on the network. Well, not yet.
No.
It's not going to be, I don't think. But
No, I
I
don't
don't
watch
know.
enough MLS to talk MLS.
I try and watch TFC every once in a while. Uh, I think
Yeah, I
if
watch
I
the Rapids, but
yeah, if I go to a game, if I ever end up going to a game, I think I might change my mind. It looks like the Toronto fans really get into it. Uh, it's just I just watch clumsy football when I'm watching. It's just not very appealing to me. But what are you gonna do? And everybody seems so small. They all look small in that league. You know what I mean? It's like it's a league
yeah.
for guys that are 5'9". Makes for funny
Sandra
jumpers.
Lopez, the Sandra Martinez should go play there.
I think the legitimately Toronto SC had a guy from Mexico City, and I believe he was 5'4". Like unbelievable. You should see like they had commercials, and they had like some of the guys. It was for like a like home hardware or some weird thing like that.
Yeah.
And then they just show him, and just like a good foot and a half shorter than everybody else on the thing. That was hilarious. Smaller
I,
than the little kid they had in the commercial. Smaller.
I think my favorite Lissandro Martinez tweet that I saw was that the high bar for overturning calls on bar was so high that Lissandro Martinez couldn't see over it.
Couldn't ride on it either. Oh my god. All right. That's it for week 2.
Cool.
Anything you want to plug before we get the heck out of here?
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Starting 11. If you want to watch us be silly instead of just listen to our voices, you can do so by becoming a member of the Let's Get Ready Network
Could you
Patreon.
imagine not getting to see this face? It's a crime.
Patreon.com/LGR Network. $5 and up tier gets the video versions of our audio exclusive podcasts like this show, The Rally, our tennis recap show, which is coming back with episodes about the Canada Masters and the Cincinnati Masters leading up to the US Open in a couple of weeks. And we also, during the NHL season, will be having Playoff Beards, our hockey recap show going on. So that will be coming up, and we'll probably have some more audio exclusive shows coming at some point. But the LGR Patreon's a lot of fun. You get $1 gets you into our Discord where you can hang out in voice chats with the crew and just talk about basically whatever. We talk about anything and everything in that voice chat.
That's true.
We have a bunch of channels, lots of discussion. We have a lot of fun. So if you're interested, please join us. Patreon.com/LGR Network. Otherwise, please rate and review this podcast feed. We'd really appreciate it. And anything you want to plug, Snark?
Sure. Don't forget that $1 Patreon level gets you LGR after Snark. I think on the weekend. Well, I do the damn thing on the weekend, but I don't know when it comes out. I think it comes out Mondays. So you can watch that there, and it costs you nothing. This is $1 million show. It's $1 million.
LGR after Snark is definitely worth the $1 a month that you would have to spend to get it.
You would
the
literally
after
have
show, the after show that's not an after show of anything.
Well, nope, you're right. It's not even after anything. It's not even at night. It's not even in the dark. It's usually during the light, which has started to even confuse me. That's all I wanted to do a quick pitch for, and I hope to see you guys next week.
Have a good week, guys.